Hi, so my name is Tiffany, and I had a hankering for some chocolate chip cookies, and I'm vegan. So I thought that I would show you how I make chocolate chip cookies. I made this recipe about a week ago for the first time, and I kind of combined a few recipes to make my own recipe, and so I thought that I would share it with you because it was that good that I had to show you. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So first you want to preheat the oven for 350 degrees. So I'm gonna do that right now. So then you want to take a cube of vegan butter. I have the Earth Balance kind, and you want 2/3 of a cup of this. So I have 2/3 of a cup of butter in here. I'm gonna go ahead and melt it a little bit in the microwave just to get it a little bit soft. All right, so I melted the butter. It looks like this. I don't want to melt it all the way, so I'm keeping it like this, and I'm just gonna kind of mash it up a little bit. I'm just gonna smash it. You really don't want it completely melted, or the cookies are gonna be way too soft. So this is what it looks like. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the sugars. So we've got white sugar and brown sugar. So here I have a 1/3 measuring cup, and I'm going to put 2/3 of a cup of white sugar. Here's 2. And then you also want to add 2/3 cup of brown sugar. So next I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and I just use the cap. I don't like dirtying dishes if I don't have to, and that works fine for me. So after we've added the butter and the sugar and the vanilla, you want to add a 1/2 cup of plant-based milk. So I've got soy milk here, it's plain. And I find that if you mix the sugar with the butter and everything else, it's easier to mix up, so that's why I add all of that stuff together first. And this is what it looks like so far. So next I'm going to add some flour, and we want 2.5 cups of flour. So now we want to add the baking soda and the baking powder. We add 1 teaspoon of each. 1 and 1. And the last ingredient before the chocolate chips is just salt. It calls for a 1/2 teaspoon, but I honestly just kind of put some in my hand and then toss it in. It usually works for me. So from here, you really just want to mix all of this up until you get the consistency that you want. And sometimes, depending on the butter that you have, you might want to add a little bit more flour. You'll kind of see when it comes together if it's too thin. So this is what I have now, which is like the perfect consistency. You want it to be pretty squishy and soft, but you don't want it to be runny. Let me taste it. Oh yeah. So the last thing we need to do is add chocolate chips. Chocolate chips are kind of hard to find that are vegan. If you have a Trader Joe's near you, their chocolate chips, like the brand, the Trader Joe brand chocolate chips, are just vegan. So these work perfectly. Otherwise, you have to buy just like the specifically dairy-free chocolate chips, which can run like $5 for a pack. But these are only like $1.50, so. And most recipes just tell you to add the whole bag, but for me, I feel like that's way too chocolatey. I love chocolate, but for me, that's way too chocolatey. So I will usually add about 2/3 of this because I probably more than the chocolates in the cookie just really like that chewy, molassesy flavor. So I won't add all of this. Looks like this is good to go. This is what it looks like chocolate chip cookie dough. Looks like any other kind of cookie dough. All right. All right, so now it's time to put it on the cookie sheet. put it back here so you can see it better. And honestly, I don't measure this or anything. I just kind of take a dollop of it. Depends on what size of cookies you want. So I do about a spoonful of them. And I don't put a lot of cookies on the tray because these really spread out a lot. So I usually only end up putting like 7 cookies per tray. That is so good. And the good thing about making vegan cookies is you can eat the whole bowl if you really wanted to because there's no egg. Okay. We're putting it in the oven. So these are actually going to cook kind of a long time. These are going to cook for about 14 or 15 minutes. Okay, so the cookies are almost done, and I got my cooling rack out, so I'm going to pull them out right now. This is what they look like. Oh yeah. And I know you're supposed to wait to take the cookies off of here, but I can't wait that long, so I just go for it. These might be the most perfect cookies I've ever seen or made. You know, like sometimes you make them and they're like a little chewier or runnier. They're pretty flat. And sometimes you make them and they're super puffy. But these are like perfect. See? Oh my God. Okay, so the cookies are done. This is what they look like. Oh my God. That's so good. These are crunchy on the outside, chewy on the inside type of cookies, which are my favorite kind of cookies. It made about 20 cookies, so that's perfect for me. I mean, I don't have any kids or anything, so it's just me and my husband here eating these cookies, so we don't want too many cookies hanging around. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Super, super simple recipe. I hope you try it out and let me know. Take care. Bye.